I really wanted to try and see this film before the Oscars because The Wind Rises was nominated for 2013's Best Animated Film. It did just lose to Frozen, but I really wanted to try and see it, but this weekend was just really rough. I had some personal things going on, and of course the Oscars were going on, so I really had no time to see the movie. A lot of people will consider this a 2013 film. I'm going to consider it a 2014 film. This is going to be easier on me, especially where I'm going to actually put this movie in how I feel about it. I know that doesn't really matter. What really matters about the movie is it good? Is it watchable? Is it something to get excited about? Is it something to cry to the world about it? And that's what I was hoping for. I really wanted to, I mean, you know, we all know what this film is, where it's coming from. Some of us might not know what it's about, others might. I had a little idea of what the film was about. I do know that it is directed by one of the greatest animators of all time, Miyazaki. I'm not going to try and say his whole name. I don't want to butcher any kind of names, not even the name of the characters in the story. I'm just going to try and keep this in English so I don't come off as an idiot as much as I already am. But this is actually quite different than anything that I've seen from Miyazaki that I think he's ever done. I think this is the first time he's actually telling a true story as well. Now, I've only seen some of the films from the 90s and the 2000s, including Princess Mononoke, which is one of my favorite films of all time, and Spirited Away, and Howl's Moving Castle, and Ponyo, and Castle in the Sky, and My Neighbor Totoro. I've seen all these films, and I'm looking forward to seeing his other films as well. It was reported for a while that this was going to be his final film. And then it was reported that he's not quitting after all, he's not retiring after all. And then I talked to a friend of mine who loves Miyazaki, and he tells me that Miyazaki has retired before in the past, then come back and made another film, then he's retired, and then he's come make another film. So this is really nothing new. So I really hope he hasn't stopped making movies. And of course, if he has stopped, Studio Ghibli will continue to make films under other names and stuff like that. And of course, we've got The Secret of Arrietty and many other films that I've seen that I don't remember that come to mind right now. But this is the brand new film directed by Miyazaki, and it's telling the true story of a man, a Japanese man, who helped build the planes that fought for Japan in World War II. So I really had nothing, that's all I knew about this movie, and that's all I'm really going to try and tell, because I really don't want to try and explain the story. Just to let you know that this movie, especially if you're a fan of animation, if you're a fan of Miyazaki, this is his best film to date. From what I've seen, it's an amazing, incredible film. I think it just got robbed at the Oscars. I didn't really like Frozen. I'm happy for the people that love it, most people that do, and they're all happy about it. But I feel like The Wind Rises deserved to win the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. And I've seen 4 of the 5 films now, and it deserved to win it out of the 4 that I've seen. It's a beautiful film. It's a challenging film. The film is rated PG-13, but I would show this film to a 10-year-old. Maybe not younger, mainly because it's not fantastical. This is actually a biopic. This is telling a real story. The only time we ever get anything fantastical is when he goes into these dreams where he's talking with one of the people that he actually admires, this famous Italian artist who created all these great airplanes in his own right. You actually have these conversations. That's one of my favorite parts, because he'd always be greeted like, "Hey, Japanese boy," and that was just, I just loved it. And that's throughout the entire film. We get to go to see these dreams that happen, and that's very telling to the story. And I really just enjoyed this film. I actually saw the English version, which is playing out everywhere, I believe. So this is showered with a lot of talented Hollywood voices. I'm not going to really get into who the names are. If you're curious, you can always check on IMDb. Now that I've seen this version, I've been really excited to see the Japanese version with English subtitles. I'd like to see that. Hopefully that'll be available as well as this English dub version. But this is just a beautiful film. The animation is gorgeous. Of course it is. It's Miyazaki. And I really loved this story and just how honest it was and how challenging it was. I would love for more people to see this. Again, it is got a high rating of PG-13, but it's not as there's this. One of my point is there's PG films that are live action right now that have more garbage in it than this PG-13 movie does. It is challenging at times, but it's nothing offensive. It's very adult, but not offensive, not crude. It's just a really beautiful story, and I admire that Miyazaki took on this story and that we're seeing it in an animated form. I don't know when we get animated films that tell stories that are not fantastical and not outrageous and loud and in charge. This one is just quiet. And I love the sound in this film, the music as well. I did love the music. The same guy who's contributed to all of his movies, I believe, contributed to the music in this film, and it was gorgeous. But the sound might be also one of my favorite elements of the film, because it felt like someone was making all the sound with their mouth. That's what it sounded like. I'm not really know if that's true or not, but that's just how it sounded. It's just, this is a beautiful story, and I feel like I learned a lot. I actually went to see the film with my mom, and it was very special to her. She's not a really big fan of Japanese animation, but the story was very close to her heart because my grandfather loved airplanes and loved to fly, and had a lot to do with the what was going on in America with the planes and helped building planes. You know, a lot of my relatives did that. So it was really special to her, and it was special to me because it was, you know, I was, you know, enjoying the film with my mom, and also talking to her after about you know, what she heard growing up with her father. So, you know, that really helped my experience, and overall, you know, if I didn't have that, this is still a great film. This is a beautiful film, and it's one of the best films. Since this is 2014 for me, it's definitely going to be in my top 20 for 2014. I love this film. It's a great film, and I definitely highly recommend you check out The Wind Rises. I'm going to give the film 4 stars out of 4. I'm MovieManCHAD. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Twitter and I'm on Facebook. And please go to WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Live Film. And also go to Long Beach Acting and Film Association right here on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to MoviePilot.com. And if you've enjoyed this review, please click here and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope Miyazaki does not stop making movies anytime soon. I really look forward to seeing what he has next. And hopefully we'll get more great animated films. I would love to see some more 2D animated films just like this one coming out this year, but I doubt it. But one can hope. Alright guys, peace be with you my friends. I love you all. Bye!